In this video, we're going to look at the de-esser module, which is used to control sibilants. Now, I'm going to play you a vocal here with the entire instance of Nectar bypassed, and I'll put it on partway through. And I've got the de-esser bypassed and a post-EQ that's happening after it bypassed as well, because the two kind of interact. But let me play you the vocal now with and without Nectar, excluding these.
So is it something I learned, something found as I'm taking my turn?
So nice predominant S's. They're a little bit aggressive and strident. Here it is with Nectar.
So is it something I learned, something found as I'm
So they're still a bit strident and they need to be tamed. I have a little bit of pre-EQ here, very light compression and some reverb. So let's look at the de-esser. I really love this de-esser because it is so simple to use. There's only two controls. We set the frequency range that we want it to use for detection by dragging this horizontally. And that will determine the range that it's going to detect. But when it reacts and does its work, it applies its work to the entire spectrum. And then we set the threshold for how much of the de-essing we want by dragging this up and down. And of course, we can also click in the field here and type a numeric value. And same thing for sliding. We can click the Hertz display there and type a numeric value. And what makes it really easy to set is this listen mode. When this is engaged, we're going to hear only the frequencies that it's listening to for its detection algorithm. So I'm going to lower the threshold down very aggressively. And I'm not going to leave this amount, but I just want to hear what it's grabbing as I'm adjusting the frequency response. Okay, so somewhere around there is good for the frequencies. I don't need to grab too much of the breath because that can be controlled separately. And let's set the threshold again in listen mode. So that sounds pretty natural. Let's listen in context now, and I'll bypass it on and off.
So is it something I learned, something found as I'm taking my turn?
And now off.
So is it something
So it's taming them nicely. And let's talk about the display. We're going to see the shaded white, lighter outline of the de-essed signal, and the darker one in the background is the unprocessed signal.
So is it something I learned?
Now, I have a post-EQ after, and the reason I'm showing you this now is because it's set to boost the highs up a little bit afterwards. And you might think, well, what's the point of pulling them down there if you're going to bring them back in there? It just tames the S's in a more controlled way while still not removing all the high end. So let me play you this phrase again, and I'll bypass both of them, and you'll hear that the S's are tamed yet still present due to this boost at the end.
So is it something I learned? So is it something I learned, something found as I'm taking my turn? And now I'm driving inside all this hurricane mind as the lightning burns streaks.
So that's the de-esser module, simple and intuitive to use, and works particularly nicely when paired with a little bit of a high-end boost afterwards, if and when necessary. We'll see you for more in the next video.